Hi, students. Morning. Let's get straight into it. So I understand that from next week, Dr. Dingra wants to use the my sessions to facilitate your clerkships. So thankfully, we are finished with teaching. This today would be the last actual teaching session, and all others thereafter will be reviews. So what we will be doing is I would arrange to do 1 hour sessions of reviews for all the lectures that we've done. Maybe we might need two of those or maybe three of those. Um, and also review of your second in course and lit review. Second in course in particular. No, there's no lit review, there's just a business plan. And that should just be about 3 to 4 sessions max, if so much. So So, effective next week, you will not have any classes at on Tuesday with me. It will be for your rotation. I understand it's 8 to 4. It's 8 to 4. So I just want to get that out of the way one time. So let's get back into where we left off last week. We were doing business plan, and we were on the table of contents. I believe we had reached the 4 P's of marketing, and we stopped there. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? We reached the 4 P's of marketing in the discussion. Gita, Samantha, you all remember? Nobody remember? Okay. Yes, okay, good. Right, thanks, Samantha. See, yes. So yes, so we reached the 4 P's of marketing. So we don't need to recap that. We've done this already. Next, we have the target market. And remember, as I said in the lecture, your target market has to be segmented because most businesses, they most businesses, most retail type businesses, their target market is any customer that wants to walk through the door. Right? So you must cater for every single person, type, shape, form, color, breed, or whatever that walks through your door is a customer. However, of the market, of that general market, it would be a good idea to segment your market. And a case in point would be we are targeting, let's just say your target market, you might see sick people for your pharmacy. To segment your market it can be females, or it could be a particular age group, or it could be a particular location, or it could be a particular socioeconomic group. So segment your market based on what you would like to do and based on how you are designing your business. So segment your market so it can be clear as to who your target customers are. And it's okay and fine if it is you want to leave your target market to be broad, but it would still be a good idea to let the person know who's reading a business plan that you have actually already segmented your market and you are aware and you're aware that out of your entire market of customers that you expect to come, 10% might be women, 10% might be persons over 65, 5% might be pediatrics, um, 16% might be from this particular location. That's when we say segment the market, look at where your customers are going to be coming from, how your customers are going to get grouped, and how your business is being tailor made to a particular market. Now, my advice to you is your target market should be that segment that you would have done that has the largest amount. So it makes no sense to say your market is filled of sick persons, right? Persons who are sick, and out of that you have 45% being persons over 65 and 20% being pediatrics. But you are saying your target market is pediatrics. That would not make any sense. So your target market should at least be your business should be designed such that it would now target the majority of your customers. All right. So while your business is open to everyone, you are looking at your market, you are looking at your overall market target, and then you are segmenting that into smaller amounts. Okay, good. Industry competitors. Now, it's important and it's a good idea to look at what exists out there, because sometimes that can be the genesis of the business idea itself. If the persons who are already in this field are not fulfilling a particular need. So it's always good to pay attention of what exists out there currently, so that you would know where you might be able to sit and position yourself when you do get introduced into the market. Now, I would have made a statement 2 weeks ago regarding competition and how do entrepreneurs look at competition. Essentially, it's successful entrepreneurs are not focused on competition, but rather customer satisfaction. Right? So understand and appreciate that. Yes, you want to look and see what's out there and who is doing what and is there a need, but just remember that you can't get yourself immersed and completely lost into what your competitors are doing. You don't want to be so focused morning, noon, and night based on what focused on what your competitors are selling, how it is they are selling. You need to focus on what you are doing and what your customers who are choosing to come by you, what they would be appreciative of. There's, in other words, there's no need to be a copycat per se, and there's no need to monkey see, monkey do kind of thing. There is no need for that. As an entrepreneur, if it is you would have done your research and you would have done some good business planning, there would be no need for you to be completely lost and have a mental preoccupation with your competitors. You see them, you recognize them, you acknowledge them even, be happy with what they are providing in the market. But you also need to be confident about what you are going to be offering to the market as well. All right. So you look at your competition, but you're not getting immersed in thought about your competitors. Strategies to decrease competition and ensure success. Well, again, that's similar. You can feed that in from the SWOT, or you could just simply note something as simple as none of the competitors provide delivery. That's just an example. So you are going to now provide delivery for for the area, for the market, and that's something that can decrease competition. You'd be the only person doing it, so there's no competition. By you providing this additional service that there's a need for this service, you're going to ensure success. Um, another strategy that you can use to decrease competition and ensure success would be um, becoming someone who is part of a third party pay system, or of course having your store online, having an online store and online service as well. Those things help to decrease competition and ensure success. The type of services, list out all the different types of services that you intend to offer. Now you don't want to make this part extremely detailed. I mean, persons who are reading your business plan um, should be able to get an idea if you write in a general terms the different types of services that you're offered. Um, for example, you don't want to say let me see. Um, you can use the word a broad term would be you are offering um, informational videos that will be available to customers um, upon use of our service on their medication. You don't have to say something like each patient would get counseling on their medication. You know, so it doesn't have to be very detailed and have to have a long list. You want to have an impressive list of services, but it does not have to be an exhaustive type list. The person who's reading a business plan just wants to know the general different types of services that you're going to be offering. And they're looking at that because they want to see if it is you're offering a service that doesn't exist, or if you're offering a service that might be of better quality um, when compared to the current suppliers in the market. Critical risks that can threaten your success. Now, risks are usually external, but they can also be internal. Critical risk can be incompetent staff internally. It can be shrinkage and theft internally. Externally, it can be the environment, natural disasters, pandemics. Um, it can be the political system. It can be your security system, the security apparatus that you have in your business, as well as the security level that in the area in which you operate. So those are critical risks that can threaten your success. Your SWOT analysis. Well, we know SWOT analysis is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. It's being done from the perspective of your business. So strengths, weaknesses of your business, opportunities, threats on the outside of your business, what exists out there, what might be a threat to your business, and what can be an opportunity outside of your business that you can get into and make some money out. Management team. So your CVs and your resumes of your management team. Well, that's self-explanatory. And as students, you all, I don't know how much of you have work experience. How many of you have work experience? How many of you have work experience, like several years work experience, or at least regular, um, consistent work experience? Bradley, are you? Bradley's in this class. I think Bradley said that he had some work experience. Anybody else have work experience? Teresa, yeah. You had so you've had to use a resume, Samantha C. All right. So anybody else? Right. Well, point I'm asking Karishma Sanka. Karishma Sanka, are you KS? Yes, but not yes. Korea, yep. Right. So the reason for me say asking about this is because I want you all to understand that when you are transitioning from being a student and being a student who is now coming into the workplace versus a professional who is now applying for work into in the working world, your resumes they have to be different. So someone who's just coming out of high school would have a resume or a CV with a certain format that would talk about the different academic stuff that you did, primary school, which primary school you went, which secondary school you went, which university you went. All of those things don't really matter much when you get out there into the real working world, the real professional world. And in this instance, your management team, the resume of your management team, you'll want to see an operations type format resume or a management type format resume. And you all could look it up online and you would see the different templates and you see the different format that's available for that type of resume. I don't want to see persons putting up their resumes for the business plan that speaks to academics only and speaks to all the different schools that they went and what awards they get in school. Those things don't matter much when you get out here into the working world. The working world is interested in seeing, okay, so you have they're interested in your most recent amount of tertiary education. So as management, persons who are reading a business plan will be looking to see your most advanced levels of education where applicable. I'm saying where applicable, I'll explain that just now. So for your resume, we just want to see BSc in pharmacy, postgraduate diploma in management, or MBA in management, or entrepreneurship degree, or MBA with specialist in entrepreneurship, MBA with specialist in leadership, MHA, Masters in Health Administration. These are the type of things that are going to be on your resume. And now, in a further to that, we would want to see on your resume what are your achievements. What are your achievements? What have you been able to achieve in the work experience that you had, whether it be small or big? So within your small, I see Karishma said she said that she have work experience, yes, but not years. So you will have to now look within those few months that you may have your work experience and identify what were your achievements. So the next big part of your resume would be your achievements. What achievements you would have made in your current or former workplace, whether be it you've been there for years or months. So people want to read your resume and see performance. They want to see that you would have been able to now come into an organization and be the head of a team, or come into an organization and created a new process map, a process pathway. You've come into an organization and you would have find solutions to reduce expenses or increase revenue. So these are the type of things that I want to see in your resume that is now going to encourage me as the financier to say, listen, these guys know what they're doing. All right. So I hope we're clear on that, right? So that's the resume part. So, well, of course, the usual things such as references. Um, Again, for your resume for this purpose and for management type job applications, professional based applications, uh, references such as your religious leader or school teacher may not be the may not will not be the most appropriate references to be used. We would want to see references from other professionals, other senior professionals, or other relative, um, other relevant type of recommendations or references. For example, company owners, senior employees of the banks, um, uh, other entrepreneurs, perhaps senior members of government. Those are good references that you can have on your CV for your business plan. So, I'm essentially what I'm saying here is I want you to transition from having a academic school based resume to one that is professional, one that is management based type. So when you can go online and you can see the different templates. All right, good. Sources and uses of startup funds and operating funds. So that this part would now speak to where are you going to get this money to start this business, and if you are doing a business plan and you are presenting it to the bank, and let's just say you're asking the bank for $200,000 for a project that costs around $500,000, it would be necessary for you to state where the balance of the money is coming from. Because the bank, just as when they do mortgages, they want to ensure that you have a quotation or you have a plan in place to get the project completed so that you can now start to make payments back to them. So if you're asking the bank for 200,000 and the project costs 500,000, please ensure that you state very clearly where the other $300,000 is going to be coming from. All right. And how you intend on using this money, um, where the different chunks of money is going to go, how much of it is going to go for stock, how much of it is going to go for outfitting, how much of it is going to go for rent, how much of it is going to be paid to staff. We all know when you start a business, it is almost impossible to start breaking even on the first month or start generating a profit within the first month. So the sources and uses statement wants to know where you're going to be using and how you're going to be using that money. Financial projections for the first year. This would be your sales projections. Um, how much money are you expected or you projected to make in the first month, second, third, fourth months? And it's that number is expected to grow. Just as when we did the graph of stages of growth of an entrepreneurial company, uh, the graph starts off like this. So it better be gaining ground for the first 2 months and then hopefully starting to take off and doing well. Um, that's for your projections. Your monthly expenses timeline. Um, how much your monthly expenses are going to change and adjust within the first year. It's expected to adjust a little bit. Some cases it may adjust a little more depending on how you have structured your business plan. If you intend on doing dramatic things in the second or third month or fourth month, or if you intend to do dramatic things in your takeoff stage and success stage, you may require more operational expense. So that all depends on how you structure your business plan. But most times it tends to remain the same, and we always try to keep expenses down. So if it is that your expenses are increasing, at least make sure that it's not increasing to come close to your income, because then you're going to have a small margin. You want to start off with a small margin, and you want that margin to keep growing. So even though your expenses might be moving up as well, your income is supposed to be moving up a lot faster than your expenses. So it gives the idea that your margin is now increasing, or at least for the very least, your margin is still remaining the same as you grow. Right? Um, so that's your monthly expenses, monthly sales timeline. So similar. Profits and loss for the first year. Profits and loss would be your income statements. That would be your net profit statement. We all know how that's calculated. Net income is revenue minus all of your expenses, and your expenses include, what do your expenses include? Let me do say. Come on, students, what do your expenses include when you're doing your monthly income statement, or you're doing your weekly income statement, or daily or weekly? What do your expenses include? And you have 20 seconds to give me an answer. That's just to make sure nobody are running through the lectures and or going on Google and All right, you will have 10 more seconds to give me an answer. Goods when it's sold, yes. Salary. Good, good, good. All right. You have 3 more seconds. Anybody else? Rent. Thanks, Leandra. Yes. So your overhead expenses, and what we call overhead expenses would be your salary, your rent, your incidentals, your supplies inventory, um, your loan payments, your um, yeah, that's it. That's essentially your utilities, that's your overheads. And then as Samantha C said, the goods when it is sold, your cost of goods sold is part of your expenses as well. All right, good, nice. I feel, I actually feel very happy, very proud to know that my students could give these answers in quick time, especially at 8:30 in the morning. Good, very good, very good. Um, and then your references. So let's go through now in detail what we are talking about. Somehow on my excuse me if I by in error I deleted my executive summary, but it's not here on my on my notes. Right. So as you can see, this vision and mission looks a little bit wrong side, right? But that's okay. Remember, I said that's okay. There's some organizations have a mission that's very short, and then their visions look like what you want a mission to be like. So I would, excuse me there. I would I would flip this over. I would put the visions on top, and I would put your missions in the second part, like how they have it here. Um, and then your goals. Your goals one should be. You notice they're the measurable components of your goals. 12 months, 25% within 6 months, total financing within 1 month, identify and obtain management team within 2 weeks. So you can see there is the definite measurables component of these goals. And then we have the 4 P's of marketing. And what does the 4 P's of marketing do? What do the 4 P's of marketing do, students? Are looking for an answer. It's not sure on ours either. I don't interesting. I wonder why. I'll have to check on that and see what's going on. But essentially, an executive summary, Samantha, see? Yes, Precious. Yes, Precious. What the 4 P's of marketing, they position your product. They position your product, and remember, your product can be you, your product can be your whole organization, your product can be an actual physical product, right? So the 4 P's of marketing position your product. Samantha, see, I'll check on this executive summary, but for everyone knows your executive summary is equivalent to what's your executive summary equivalent to? Your executive summary is equivalent to, that's right, Leandra. Leandra, you're gonna make real plenty marks in this exam, Leandra. The way you're answering, so you want precious. All right, so um, yes, your executive summary is your elevator speech. Good. Right. So your 4 P's of marketing, your product, right? And you see in this case, the main brand and product is the organization, right? You're not looking at specific products per se. The price, looking the markup that they're going to use based on the socioeconomic status of the persons in the community that they're going to be serving. The place, the location of the place, you see here it's strategically next to a grocery and a large shopping complex. And what's the purpose? What's the purpose of it being strategically next to a grocery or a large shopping complex or near a large shopping complex or a place that has a lot of vehicles through traffic? That's right. to get foot traffic, yes, to get a larger number of persons having a probability of coming into a place. All right, so that's one. That's one as well. And another thing that you can look at with respect to place could be the convenience. So think also about convenience when looking at location, because uh, more and more you see persons who are out here to shop to get goods. You have persons who are driving and who don't like the hustle and bustle of high street or town center or city center for shopping purposes, and they prefer to drive in the comfort of their vehicle, park up somewhere, and go get their items and jump back in their vehicle and head home. So convenience is another thing to look at in terms of location, in terms of parking, as well as easy access to and from, uh, easy access to your organization. And I want you to think about this as well. You may not have an organization within a busy shopping area, but you can have an organization that might be very close to, that might be 30 seconds drive through back roads, through easy access back roads or alternative routes to get to your location. So all of those things I want you to consider with respect to location, place as well. The size of the place, we spoke about the size of the place here as well. Promotion, the different types of promotions that you're going to be doing in store. Um, well, this example uses newspaper and radio ads, but we've spoken at length about the success and the costs associated with newspaper and radio ads, right? Um, just want to remind everyone, for those of you who don't know, a Facebook post can be boosted or can become a sponsored ad on you can pay for a sponsored ad, or you can pay to boost a particular post on Facebook for as little as $5. That's converted to, let's just say it's $8 to one. That's 24, sorry, 40. That's 40 TT dollars to reach an approximate audience of anywhere between 10 to 15,000 people. I want that to sink in a little bit. For $40 TT dollars, you can create a Facebook post and have it run as an ad and reach anywhere between 10 to 15,000 people over, and it gets even better, over several days. Over several days. Do you all know how much it costs? Do you all know how much it costs to run a newspaper advertisement? Can anyone tell me? What's the cost to run a newspaper ad, or to do a radio ad, or to have a television segment? Lots more. That's right, Alexis. Nicolette. Hi, Nicolette. Yes, about $2,000 and $2,000 for maybe quarter of a page of a newspaper. Teresa, newspaper ads depends on size. Correct. Size, column, black and white. Correct. Very good. Very good. Yes, Teresa, like you know a lot about newspaper ads. You used to work for Newsday or Express. Um, but yes, Teresa is very correct. Ads in a newspaper, so, okay, they are costly and they all depend on the size of the ad, where the ad is located, if it's a center page, if it's a full color, if it's black and white. So newspaper ads are very costly. And what's the biggest drawback for a newspaper ad in particular? What's the biggest drawback? Not everyone reads it, yes, but there's another one, another important one. You're paying $2,000, as Nicolette said, and as Teresa confirmed, it may be for a very small section in one page of the newspaper. Only reaches a select number of people compared to online. Short, that's right. Alexis, what's the answer to that short time period? We have built up on that. Karishma, because of technology, people don't buy it. Right. Correct, correct, Karishma. You're correct. Definitely correct. Short time period, Alexis. What you mean by that? Alexis, short time period, or someone help her. Teresa, you help her. You seem to know a lot about newspapers. That's right, Shakila. That's right, Shakila. You pay $2,000 for one day. For one day. For one day, you're paying $2,000. And poof, money gone. Money gone after one day. And your one little scrawny ad has gone. So yes, Shakila had it correct. One day versus more exposure over several days with other types of media. Teresa, you pay by duration, correct? Bradley only 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 has a day to be disseminated. Yes, yes, yes. So short time period, less exposure. Yes, the short time period we was talking about, Alexis, was is that it's simply being put for one day. So that's why newspapers are feeling the hit because as you have a more and more developed society that's now using technology, even these newspapers, all of these newspapers are all online. They all have electronic copies, and they all cater to the, the tech savvy and the more updated reader. So newspapers are perhaps one of the worst ways in which to spend advertising money. What was you have to ask yourself how many people still actually read newspapers. I am sure, and I remember some of my employees, they're probably about your age. Yeah, they're about your age, right? I think these guys were about 18, 17 or 18 when they were working with me. And you know what they said to me? When I asked them some question about what was happening. Their response was, "Well, I didn't see it on Facebook, so I don't know if it's true." So they were now equating something being said on Facebook to that being actually true and that being actual news. And yes, we know that there are several Facebook pages now in the know and Alert TNT, and I know there are some others that are, are I don't want to say they are amateur type news agencies or media organizations, and that's what it is because the younger folks, you guys are on social media right through, and I'm not on Instagram, but I know people use Instagram a lot as well for advertisements. So there's Twitter, there's Instagram, there's Facebook, there's LinkedIn as well. I think you can do advertisements on LinkedIn. There is YouTube that you can do advertisements on. There's Google that you can do advertisements on at a fraction of the cost. Alexis, you're preaching to the converted because I usually, well, many years ago, I was an avid reader of newspapers. It was important for me. It helped me to better understand the English and writing and those things and presentations. However, I have observed that these newspapers they're not stating facts and they seem to not care. about getting the facts correct. One story carried in the three different major newspapers will have variations of that one story. And that's where the inaccuracies come in. And that's where the groups like yourself and like myself, I mean, I'm not as young as you guys, but you all won't accept if this is purporting to be accurate and it's not. So newspapers, their reputation is at risk for we as what Alexis is saying is for being inaccurate, and also for the sheer cost of how much they require from you to do advertisements. So, ladies and gents, I'm encouraging you to, I'm dissuading you, hopefully, to against using newspapers and another just single page pamphlets and brochures. You all know how much those things cost? Anyone of you have any idea how much a pamphlet costs? A full color, glossy, nice pamphlet or brochure? Do you all know? Let me tell me if anyone knows how much those things cost. What do we have here again? Right. Anyone know how much a regular brochure about this size or pamphlet is going to cost, or a pamphlet? I have seen Kavita P this morning and she not with us. Or Kavita R. Or Samantha A. Amber, are you with us this morning? What about Mishad? Anybody know how much those things cost? Those things cost on average just about $1. So I want you to imagine for a minute. You have to get 1,000 of these brochures. You have to put out. Hi Nishad, yes. But Nicolette, you have a real okay. Hi Nishad. Nicolette, you have a really expensive brochure, and that think about it. No, 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 no. You don't have to be sorry because perhaps that can be the cost now. Back in my time, those things were $1, right? So it may be because it's a bigger brochure or a prettier leaflet, whatever it is. You have to do 1,000 of that. That's $5,000 minimum for Nicolette. For me, a $1,000 minimum for my dollar one. How are you going to get that brochure out there? You have to physically hand that out. And you know what used to happen before too? People used to take it and stick it in the newspaper. So now you're sticking in your brochure in a newspaper that have limited readership, and then again, it's a 1 day affair. It's a 1 day affair. So newspapers really, really aren't an attractive or an economical option for advertising. I see it being a real issue with being able to sustain itself if newspapers solely depend on, and you know much, yeah, yeah, you know how much TT Post charges you for that? They charge you for that too, Teresa. So you have to print your flyer already. For me, I paying $1,000. Nicolette paying $5,000 for 1,000. Then you have to now pay TT Post a fee to have that drop. So it just and that what you're talking about there is target marketing for communities. So certain, you pay TT Post to put these flyers in a certain category of community, whether you're targeting the lower socioeconomic class, the middle, the upper, you pay TT Post for that. So it's a very costly exercise to engage in that type of advertising when you can do $5 US, $40 TT for 20,000 people on Facebook. And that 20,000 people is not only located to where you are, whether be it Shogunas, Point Fortin, Arima, Toko, Rio Claro, Mayaro, Caranage. That 20,000 people is from all over, right? So social media advertising is definitely the way to go. It's definitely the most economical option as well. Banners are okay because a banner might cost you $1,000, but it's going to last for a very long while. I know I have a banner That's been around for just about 7 years. So they last really long. So banners are not bad, right? But single page pamphlets, brochures, newspaper ads, radio ads, TV ads, maybe a little bit of TV ad. So you don't even have to do a you don't even have to go. Do you think banners at the location site is sufficient, at least for the startup, like pharmacy coming soon? Yes. I wouldn't want you to spend too much of money on a large banner just saying pharmacy coming soon. You can do a cheap one for maybe $200 to $300, maybe $500 at most, to be a big enough size to say pharmacy coming soon. Or you can probably perhaps put that money to put your name of your pharmacy one time, and then you could put a small sticker below coming soon. So you can have a longer utility and a longer use of your banner, because when you do open, you can remove the coming soon sign and it can be now open. But so instead of just doing a banner that says coming soon, you can do one with your name or whatever your business is, and then below and a sticker that can be removed coming soon. All right, good, right. Um, so that was promotion. Yeah, I was saying that you can do your own little videos. You can hire a company. No, that kind of is on the expensive side, because good quality videos, I'm sure, cost anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000 to produce. I'm sure. So these guys will come with their drones, and they will come with their computer software and create a nice video and make it go viral, just like um, some of these local businesses would have done nice videos. A real common one would be this Duckies guy in Ottawa in Mayaro that did a really good had a really good video done on his roast fish and organic seafood that has now done so well, and so many people line up to go there, and there are other businesses that are now doing the same thing. So you doing a video, and you now putting that video out there on YouTube, putting that video out there as a sponsored ad on Google and on Facebook. So you can do those things on your own as well. And it can save you a whole lot of money than spending $5,000 for one day on the radio or on CNC3 or on TV6. Just simply doesn't make sense. All right. So we spend plenty time on promotion. Target market. So your target customers. Um, we This one looked at the elderly, the location as well. So they're looking at both ends of the age spectrum and all in between. So that's like a general statement. But remember, as what I said, your target market. Um, we want your market to be segmented as well. See much more time we have. Okay, so let's just go for the break. And when we come back, I thought I was going to get this done in an hour, but I ended up talking too much. So your target market, um, you want to segment your market. If it is that you can be impressive and tell me your target market is all persons who get prescriptions from the health center, or all persons who get prescriptions from all the doctors be nearby. Your segment of that market now can now be elderly or CEDAP patients or asthmatics. You segment your market based on what you think your area has, or your area can be categorized as. All right. So when we come back, we'll go into industry competitors and finish it out in the next hour. We'll take the break now, and we shall return at 9:10.